Hi, it's Lori. I put together this section because it's not just you. Everybody is wondering which test is right for me. Should I be going with SHRM? Should I be going with HRCI? Should I take the generalist level? Should I take the senior level? Where do I stand? And what would be the best to move my career forward? So I've created a little bit of a PowerPoint. Let's look through this material together. Which one is going to be right for you? I really can't tell you. But there are three critical components to passing any of the exams you choose to take. First of all, you have got to have the right level of experience. I was just talking to somebody yesterday, actually, who went for the senior level exam because she had the years of service in the industry to qualify, but she has always worked in such small organizations and not had a seat at the table that unfortunately she wasn't successful. So now she's going for the generalist level, and I am sure she's going to do well. So much of what you need to learn, you will learn from each other. You will learn from your other HR peers. You'll learn from people in your business, and I will guide you to know what kinds of things you need to prepare. But most importantly, I really believe the issue my adult students have is being able to process the test questions. And that is where this course comes in. I know that that is something I am really expert at helping you do. So which one should you take? Either the PHR or the SHRMCP is what I refer to as the generalist level exam. That's going to be for those of you who are the primary point of contact for employees. You run day-to-day projects and implement the policies of your business. You probably run a lot of reports, do enrollments in the various benefit plans, and have expertise in functional areas like recruiting or compensation, that sort of thing. So you're in the trenches doing the day-to-day HR, and you are great at it. The senior level people need to be the people who actually develop the policies, who plan the new initiatives that will align strategy with their business. You may be a senior person because you select and manage your outside vendors, or you oversee other HR people. Now, it doesn't mean if you're an HR department of one that you don't also do everything on the generalist side. You may do both of these things. But I do know people who have had success on the senior level exam are those people who are strategically involved, who are planning new initiatives and developing policies. So really be honest with yourself. What do you really have the experience doing? Because I can't teach you the kinds of scenarios that you're going to face on the exam. You have to have been in a role where you actually have encountered those things. So let's talk about HRCI versus SHRM. You can read all the blogs, all the message boards you want, and you will walk away, I promise you, with a big, I don't know. It is evident from what people are saying all over the country that employers don't care. Employers understand that these are two competing organizations testing the same body of knowledge. So let me tell you a little bit of some of the differences that might help you make your decision. HRCI is a really interesting difference in that you can take their exam anytime you feel ready to do it. Now, it's really the same reason I offer my lifetime guarantee, because life happens. And sometimes you may think you're going to take this exam in March, and something happens with your family, with your kids, whatever, and you're not ready till June. So with HRCI, you don't sign up until 2 to 3 weeks before you want to walk in and take the exam. The other nice thing that HRCI offers is retake insurance. Now, it's expensive. I'm going to explain that in a minute, but they offer the ability to hedge your bets and buy the retake insurance. SHRM, without a doubt, is the national association, and everybody knows who SHRM is, but they limit you to 2 testing windows a year. So you either are going to have to take this in the winter over and around the holidays or in the summer. That's it. Those are the only 2 times. The window is open for about 6 weeks. Now, one of the things SHRM started doing recently, which is interesting, is they give you a wider option to accumulate CEUs. CEUs stands for Continuing Education Units. And either organization will require you to have 60 CEUs every 3 years. And I promise you, you want to stay on top of that so you don't have to take this exam ever again. So those are a couple of the differences. They're also a little bit different in timing. Both exams have essentially the same number of questions. The reason the HRCI exam is an hour shorter is that the SHRM exam is known to have a lot of reading. On the SHRM exam, you have to read a lot more content to be able to answer the question. And so they give you that extra hour. But if you're somebody in your high school SATs that didn't really do that well on the reading comprehension portion, you may want to go with HRCI. HRCI is known to just be a little bit more direct, a little bit shorter in the questions, and presto, you pick your answer. Now, another difference is the cost. HRCI offers a different price for their PHR versus their SPHR, and both of them are more expensive than SHRM. HRCI also requires a registration fee on top of their cost. Now, HRCI, as I said, does offer the second chance insurance. So it can become a lot more expensive if you add that to the bundle. SHRM charges you the same for both exams, and there is an upcharge for non-members. Now, what I will tell you is if you're going to go for the SHRM exam, they typically bundle a year's membership with the cost of the exam, and that's a really great deal. So make sure that you do that. The other thing about SHRM is because they have these testing windows, you need to register 8 to 10 weeks before the beginning of their testing window, or you're going to pay an additional late fee. By the time you add the late fee to the cost, it becomes the same cost as HRCI. So if cost is a concern for you, and it is for so many people, really go on the website, get for yourself the very current cost for both programs, depending on when you decide to test, and make sure that you're comparing apples and apples. If you've added the second chance insurance to your HRCI assessment, SHRM doesn't have that. So of course it's going to grossly skew the number to HRCI. So just think about what you're doing. So you may still be wondering, which one should I take? I encourage you to wait a couple of weeks for our class to begin. As we begin to go through the content together, I will point out this is more of a generalist type question. This is more of a senior type question. And you'll start to get the feel for where you stand and where you might be best suited. At the end of the day, it's completely up to you. There's not much I can do to help. But I can give you lots of additional resources. So SHRM has free practice tests on their website. HRCI offers a real 90-minute practice exam. Now, the questions have been retired, but they are true and accurate test questions. Last I checked, HRCI was offering that for $50, or you could buy 2 for $90. I can't promise you it stayed the same price, but it's probably about that. I recently found a fabulous website, though, called Exam Edge, and my students are having huge success with it. Exam Edge is a website that provides practice tests for every certification out there, including the SHRM exams and the HRCI exams. So one of the things I recommend is go out to Exam Edge if you're still not sure, and take one of each. Take one generalist, take one senior. Take generalist from HRCI, take generalist from SHRM. The Exam Edge tests are very affordable. Last I heard from my students, they were around $17 a piece, and you could bundle them and buy 6 or 8 at a time for a discount even from that. I mentioned in my welcome video my vocabulary app called HR Cards. I wish I could give it away with program registration, but it's controlled now by iTunes and Google Play, so I can't do that. But I really encourage you. People who use it say it's really helpful. So go out, whichever system you have, iTunes or Android, download it. It'll cost you $3.99 to download it, and then it's 99 cents a month, so you can keep it as long as you want, or you can get rid of it after the first month. But do remember, once you pass your exam, to get rid of it. Some of you may choose to go with traditional flashcards, and Amazon will have tons of them. Just go on Amazon and say, PHR flashcards, SPHR flashcards. They're all the same, just like my course. They all work for both programs. I think the paper versions, last time I checked, were about $45. So as we jump in, and you've got all sorts of tools to use, remember that the class has 2 lessons in almost every module of recorded content. We've got our live classes, which will all be posted within 48 hours of the actual live class. We have handouts for you on all the slides. I've provided additional resources. And then, of course, you have your textbook, which you can be reading and studying from as well. Do know you cannot memorize all of this. Don't even try. You will see, as I'm walking you through the classes, how to decipher what you read and learned and apply it to the test question. So, that's my job, is to walk you through all of that. I'm here to guide you, but you've got to do the work, which is why I don't limit you to a 6-week class. So once again, delve in, start to see the kinds of material we have, the kinds of content, and I think it will really help you decipher which is the right one for you. Know that there are all sorts of ways that you can do this. You're going to start with the book. You're going to have our live classes. Then you're going to listen to recordings. But I am here for you. You can reach me by email, and I'm going to give you that in just 1 minute. Feel free to come late, leave early, eat during class, whatever you need to do. And we have provided you all the answers to all of the questions on our class website. So if you miss one during class, don't panic, but don't look at them ahead of time. They're really meant to be for those of you who might come back and look at this in 6 months and want to just practice those questions on your own. So the class website is set up in a way where you really can move at your own pace. So feel free to do that. But if you get behind, still join our live classes. I think the live classes are super valuable if you come completely unprepared, because by coming unprepared, you will very much feel the way you feel the day of your test. You will be looking at questions that you might have no idea about, and you need some time to really figure those out. So hopefully that helped you figure out which one is right for you. Reach out to me at any time, but many of you know I run around this country like a crazy person. You will see me teaching the class from airports, you will see me teaching it from hotel rooms, and hopefully more often than not, my own home office. The best way to reach me is always by email first. Don't just call. I mean, you can just call, but I can't promise I'll get back to you. If you email me, I will set a time we can speak to each other, and we will have you on your road with answers to your questions almost immediately. So hopefully that was helpful. You now have some idea, but again, if the class hasn't started yet, give it a couple weeks, and I promise once we jump in, you'll know exactly which test is right for you. Thanks. Bye-bye.